The bad news for Carson Wentz with his torn ACL. Not many NFL quarterbacks whose mobility is integral to their games have returned from such tears as the same quarterbacks as they were before. The good news for Wentz: not many mobile quarterbacks in the last decade or so have even torn their ACLs. If nothing else, it challenges the conventional wisdom that quarterbacks who like to leave the pocket, turn upfield and run are more susceptible to major injury, often a convenient excuse for teams to refuse to commit to them. The list of traditional, pocket quarterbacks who have suffered that injury in the last dozen years is notably longer, and includes Tom Brady, Philip Rivers, Joe Flacco, and multiple ACL patients Sam Bradford and Carson Palmer. This small sample size also increases Wentz's odds to come back sometime next year without having to change how he plays, a way that had him in the MVP discussion and got the Eagles in position to have the NFC's path to the Super Bowl go through Philadelphia. How Wentz's injury impacts playoffs. Coincidentally, the evidence includes the last quarterback to take the Eagles on a Super Bowl run. The starters who have torn ACLs, whose styles have depended as much on their legs as their arms, in the last 12 years are Robert Griffin III, Brian Hoyer, and Donovan McNabb. McNabb tore his right ACL in November 2006, at age 30 and in his 8th season. He returned for the 2007 opener, led the Eagles back to the NFC title game in 2008 and made his 6th and final Pro Bowl appearance in 2009, his final year in Philly. Compared to today, ACL rehab and return back then was practically prehistoric, accompanied with far more pessimism. And it didn't have tales like Adrian Peterson's 2012 return to offer even overhyped optimism. The ACL tear, though, that did unquestionably and significantly derail a mobile quarterback's career was that of Robert Griffin III in January 2013. Griffin was the league Offensive Rookie of the Year and took Washington to the playoffs in 2012. He returned for the season opener in September 2013 but was never the same running or passing, and he only played one injury-free season after that 2013 comeback year. The various clashes with coaches and teammates affected the course of his career, but that ACL tear cannot be downplayed in his decline. Robert Griffin III. Getty Images. Conversely, it's debatable how good Hoyer could have been had he not torn his ACL in his third start with the Browns in 2013. A career-long backup until then, Hoyer had played well to start that season. The following year, the Browns drafted Johnny Manziel. Hoyer held him off until December, when they lost 2 straight after reaching 74 in his comeback season. Hoyer is now on his 4th team since then, including Houston, where he hit his low point when he threw 4 interceptions in a shutout playoff loss to the Chiefs in the 2015 season. More NFL playoff picture for Week 15. Ironically, there are as many quarterbacks with mobility in their tool bag trying to recover from this injury now than there were in the preceding decade. Besides Wentz, there is the Texans' Deshaun Watson, who returned for Clemson's 2015 season opener after tearing an ACL the first time late in 2014. There's the Dolphins' Ryan Tannehill, who hurt his late last season and re-injured it during this season's training camp. Thus, the sample size will grow next year if all recover and come back to the field next season. Wentz and the rest will begin to show if they're the next. McNabb are the next RGIII.